guys, and welcome again to this edition of Learning with Rich. So, in this topic, let us continue our discussion about compound walls. So, this time, like what I have said last time, I'm going to show you how to create a new wall type again, but this time, we're going to add wall sweep and reveals. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that. So, as you can see in this portion here, okay, so we are going to create a new type of wall in this portion. So that type of wall, so we're going to add reveals and sweep on that particular wall. Okay, so let's get started. So from the architecture tab, so I'm going to select the wall tool here, and I'm going to make sure that exterior brick on metal stud is selected. So I'm going to use this type of wall to create my new wall. Okay, so again, I'm going to select your edit type, and then after that, I'm going to duplicate it. I do not want to override the original type, so I'm going to duplicate that, and I'm going to call this exterior brick and block on metal stud. All right, and then I'll just select here OK. Right, so after I create the new type of wall. So I'm going to select again the edit structure here, edit structure. And again, these are the layers of that particular wall, of this particular wall. And then we are now going to use here sweeps and reveal, as well as modify, as well as assign layers, as well as split region. So we are going to use this tool, except merge region. I'm not going to use that one. Okay, by default, if you open your edit assembly, this is how it looks like. Okay, so this is how it looks like. And you will notice here that your modify, merge region, sweeps, reveals, split region, and assign layers are disabled. You will only be able to use these tools if your preview here is set to section. Okay, because by default, the preview here is floor plan. Okay, that's why sometimes the examiners, the examinees are a bit confused. Why is it the tools here are disabled? They don't realize that they need to make the view here, the preview here, set to section view. Okay, so these tools are only available in section view. That's why if you want to use it, make sure this view is set to section. And then you will now notice that it becomes enabled. Okay, so that's how you do it. Now, the next step that we are going to do after we duplicate our wall and then rename it to the name that we want for this wall. So the next thing is I'm going to select here modify. Okay, so I want to modify this wall here. Okay, so I want to modify this, so I'm going to select here modify, and then I'm going to select this one. Okay, okay, all right, okay. So you may want to select it. You may need to select it multiple times. So okay, so it's now being modified, so it's now highlighted. Now the next thing that we are going to do is I'm going to select here the split region. Okay, so after you modify, so let's select split region. So you select split region, and then after that, you just need to pick somewhere here. Okay. Don't worry about the exact location. It's not critical. Later on, we're going to modify that. So let's say I'm going to pick somewhere here. There you go. Okay. Now, the next thing that we are going to do is, by the way, you notice if you check out the functions here, our finish one for the thickness here becomes variable. Okay, so that is what happens. So when you split the region, so the dimensions are displayed showing the location of the split. And aside from that, notice that both the regions have the same material. So same material, right? as the original layer, and the thickness setting of layer 1 is now set to variable. So after a layer is split, the thickness is no longer recorded as a fixed value. Right. Okay, so I'm going to select again a modify. So the reason is we are going to change actually the height of this one. Okay, so to do that, you select modify, and then you select uh, okay, so let me just go and select again. Okay, so click, and then let's click now the split here. There you go, and then you can see a small arrow there, and if you click this, you will now be able to modify the distance. Okay, let's say 1050, enter. There you go. Okay, so that's why sometimes you may need to select uh, the modify and then the split region several times for you to be able to flip that one and modify the dimension here. So after you change the dimension, the next thing that we need to do is we're going to assign material to this one. Okay, so we're going to assign material. So before that, so let us add another layer. Okay, so from here, so I'm going to insert a new layer. So I'm going to select here. So just make sure layer 1 is selected. So I'm going to insert a new layer. Okay, so let us change the function here. Let us just make it also finish 1:4. And then for the material, I'm going to select concrete blocks. Concrete blocks. Concrete blocks. Where are you? Okay, so concrete blocks. And then as you can see, there's the pattern here. The cut pattern here is like this, the hatch pattern. So I'm going to select concrete blocks. And then I'm going to select. Okay, so for me to be able to apply that hatch pattern, let's say for example, to this lower portion of my split layer, so you can select here assign layer. So I'm going to select assign layers, and then I'm going to pick here. Okay, there you go. So you may need to select it several times for you to be able to apply the hatch pattern. Okay, so that's how you do it. So the next thing, okay, by the way, uh, I don't want 90 here. Oh yeah, okay, so it's already 90. So they have the same thickness. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do now is we're going to add this time wall sweeps. Okay, so there's the wall sweeps here. So I'm going to select this, and then let us add wall sweep. So you just need to select add, and then let us change the profile here. So they are already preloaded profile in this project. So you just click the drop down arrow and then select here the profile that you want. So let's say this one, seal precast 125 mm wide profile. Okay, and then for the material, so let me change that to precast. Let me type precast. Okay, precast. Okay, this one, and then I select here. Okay, there you go. Now for the distance, so I'm going to change the distance to 1050 also. Okay, same as the distance of this one. Okay, so 1050 from the base. So meaning from the base, the distance is 1050. So that will be the wall sweep, the first wall sweep. Okay, and then the offset is 0, side of the exterior. Okay, that's good. Right. Then after that, I'm going to uh, add another one. I'm going to add another wall sweep. By the way, if you selected here apply, so you will now see there the preview. Okay, so from the base here, from the base, the distance is 1050. Okay, and then at the exterior side with an offset of 0. Okay, let me add a new one. So I'm going to select add, and then this time let me change this one to how about this one? Wall sweep brick soldier course 1 brick. So I select that, and then you change the material there. And then for the material, I'm going to select here the brick soldier. Brick. Okay, this one, masonry brick soldier course. So I select that one, and then I select here OK. Okay, now for the distance, I'm going to type here minus 1,200. So if I want that from the top portion, so I can change here top. So I mean to say from the top portion, it will go down minus 1,200. And then let's say I want to have an offset here, offset of, let's say, minus 75. Okay, minus 75. And then I'm going to select here apply, and then OK. So let's check it out. From the top, there you go. Okay, so from the top, 1,200, and there's an offset of 75. Okay, so let us add more. Okay, so this time, so I'm going to add reveals. Okay, so I'm going to add reveals to my uh, layer of wall, so my wall. So I'm going to add reveals. So to add reveals, so there is an option here, reveals. So let us add reveals. Okay, wait. What if I add another sweep here? Okay, so let me add another sweep. So add sweep. So I'm going to add one. Then I'll change the profile. So let's say I'm going to select cup. Okay, so I want to add a cup somewhere here. So I'm gonna select here 350 mm wide. Okay, and then for the material, I'll just select again precast. Okay, so precast. Okay, so concrete precast. Okay. All right, so I'm not going to add a distance here, but I want to put that at the top portion. So top. So if I select here apply, so that's how it looks like. Okay, so that's now for my wall sweeps. So now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to add reveals. So I'm going to select here reveals, and then I'm going to add 3 reveals. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then for the type, okay, let me just select one brick, one brick, one brick. Okay, and for the distances, so let's say 2,700, let's say 3,300, what else? 3,900. Okay, and then it will be measured from the base portion of the wall of the layer. Okay, that's it. And then after that, I'm going to select here apply, and then I select here OK. So there you go. So those are my 3 reveals. Okay, so let us now create this wall and add it to here. Okay, to this portion of our model. Okay, so I'm now going to select here OK. So I already, okay, so we're done creating our wall, new wall. So I'm selecting OK here, and then I'm selecting OK. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to change my view to top of parapet layer, floor plan view. Okay, and then top of parapet, what if I just created at the ground floor? So probably just ground floor will do. Okay, and then I'm going to add it here. So let me just close the hidden views and add 3D view. Okay, and then I'm going to select view here, and I'm gonna make it tile. Okay, so that you can see how it looks like. Okay, let me just arrange it. Okay, so this is where I'm going to create it. Okay, here. So I'm going to select here the wall tool, and then just make sure the wall selected is the one that we just created. And then this time I'm gonna make the height until top of parapet. Okay, the shape is rectangle, and then the location line, let's say wall center line. Okay, so I'm going to add that to A1 grid, A1 grid, up to D3 grid. D3 grid. Where's that? This one? There you go. Okay, so there's overlapping here. So I'm going to undo this one. I don't want that. Let me just close this. So let me change the floor plan view instead to main floor. Okay, main floor. I close this one and I'm gonna tile it again. Okay, here. So let me create the wall, top of parapet, rectangle. Okay, let me create it here. A1 again, and then to D3. There you go. There you go. And then I select here modify. So as you can see, this is now the newly created wall that we just created. Okay, as you can see, we have here the three reveals. See the reveals there? And then we also have the sweep. This one is the sweep, right? The wall sweep, and then we also have here. Okay? So basically, that's how you create and add wall sweep and reveals to your wall. Okay? So that's how you do it. It's nice, right? So hopefully you like this video. Hopefully you learned something from this video. If you had comments, questions, or suggestions, just put it on the comment section below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Okay, this is actually the one that being asked. Okay, not exactly this one, but this gives you an idea about the questions that they're going to give you regarding the compound walls in the examination. Okay, so thank you for watching, guys, and have a nice day.